We talked about Shedeur Sanders. First break, what he needs to do, pivotal. Come out here and show something. Got to show something. I think he does. I got him for 278, 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, and the Browns win this game, 27-10. Let me know if you agree with me. I think the light bulb comes on for him this week. And Jerry Jeudy. I got Jerry Jeudy going over 100 yards. Kind of crazy, right? Come on, Jerry. Don't you disappoint me. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. But Kevin Stefanski. Now, juxtapose what we talked about with Andrew Berry. You're only as good as your last moves. And Kevin Stefanski, the things working against him is this. You gave your playbook up 2 years in a row. And if you're Andrew Berry, and if you're Jimmy Haslam, the problem that's hurting him is this. When you give up your playbook 2 years in a row, yeah, we talked about it. Deshaun Watson wasn't good while he was here. But let's keep it a buck. Was Joe Flacco good? Was Dylan Gabriel good? Baker Mayfield, was he elite? When you have to give up your playbook 2 years in a row and you hamstring Ken Dorsey and now you've done it again to Tommy Rees, that's on you, bro. You can't keep having coordinators take over your playbook and get fired for it. Even Alex Van Pelt didn't run his own playbook. This is your playbook. And when the offense has been that bad, just because you hand it off does not mean that you get some sort of pass. That's what's working against Kevin Stefanski. Is the offense is old, it's stale, it's outdated, and it's one of the most anemic in the game. Now, for years when you were the coach of the year, you could say it was because I didn't have the talent at quarterback. But then we started to see, well, hold on. I see Flacco do this. I see Baker doing this. Was it really Deshaun Watson? I know he was bad, but come on. Like, a lot of people in your offense look the same way. Now, the reality of it is, I kind of find it weird a little bit. It's not a conspiracy theory. I think it's called updating your resume. You know, it's a lot of people. I use the analogy on UCSS. When you're walking around and you read the tea leaves at work, maybe it's a merger. Maybe you get a new boss that wants to bring in their guy. But either way it goes, they downsizing. Either way, it's called updating that LinkedIn. It's called updating that Indeed profile. It's sending out little feelers in the community, feelers in around in the neighborhood. Hey. You know, I'm thinking I might be wanting to go from radio to television. I'm thinking about doing some television to radio. I'm thinking about radio to podcast, maybe podcast to little journal. You know, I might want to write for it. Everybody is putting it in. You putting out feelers. We all got people. Oh, I got a couple people over there. I got a couple people over here. You know what I'm saying? A couple people know my work. And it should shock anybody that guys like Dan Orlovsky or Albert Breer or guys that's surrounding NFL networks, if that's their mans, that's their guy, they're going to stick up for him. They're going to put out the articles. They're going to say, hey, Kevin, if he get fired today, he going to get him a job tomorrow. And maybe a team says, you know what? Keep that in mind. We want a coordinator position. I think Kevin got a raw deal. Let's bring him in for an interview. Let's bring Kevin in and put him on the name of guys that we might be interested in. It could be offensive coordinator. It could be head coach. It could be any of those things. He could sit out a year. But the reality of the situation is this. Just because, he may get a job elsewhere does not mean it's not time for him to go here. Just because you get a job somewhere else and it may be a better fit and you may even be successful does not mean that you could be successful here. And the thing that I think Kevin Stefanski struggles with the most is, hey, it's just not your offense. You are in control of the offense. But also you keep hiring special teams coaches that can't get that done. The only thing that's been consistent is the defense. And here's another thing. I think he needs to sit down a little bit for a year and figure out what he wants to do and how he wants to go about the other part of the business. It's just not you calling plays. It's not just X's and O's. It's just not he needs to learn how to communicate with the media and his players better. because I think one of his blind spots is he does not do a good enough job of understanding how to motivate people, talk to players, and understand what's going on. Half the stuff he brings on himself is him not talking, him not communicating, him not setting what the expectations are, not speaking for himself. Don't let other people talk for you. Don't leave a vacuum, a void of communication out there so people fill in the dots where they want to. Speak for yourself, Kev. Speak for what you want to stand on. And a lot of times I think there's, whether you head into the quarterback situation or accountability or a lot of different things, it just seems like this stuff is coming out of nowhere. And you don't give yourself an opportunity to speak through the media, use the media, use your relationship with players to get the most out of it. So for me, can Kevin Stefanski save his job? In these last 4 or 5 games, ironically, even though I would move on from Kevin, I still think he has the ability to save his job. The question I have is, does he really want to? Because sometimes when you're in a situation that's run its course both ways, Kevin Stefanski just signed a contract a couple years ago. He got all the money in the world. His family is secure. Trust me, he'll be smart with his money. He's an Ivy League guy. But maybe it's to a point where he's like, look, man, I feel like I got a raw deal. I'm losing a little bit of control here. I don't know if I can find the quarterback that I want to, because he made his bet on Dylan Gabriel. And it looks like the organization is going to give Shedeur Sanders every opportunity to keep pushing. So my thing is, even if he stays here, is he going to have the leverage to say, I want a quarterback? Do they stay with Shedeur Sanders and just build around him for a year and then figure it out later? Or if he's here, would he want his playbook back? Or are they going to force it off as a coordinator? All these things are very interesting, and I think these things that we got to take in consideration with, because those are the things that are really going to really play a role in whether or not he's going to be coming back. Maybe if they were seeing eye to eye on some of the same pages, he would come back. But to me, I just don't. Not only I don't think that the organization. With all the other stuff that I'm hearing and how many people are coming out saying he'll get a job tomorrow or he'll get this or he'll get that, that tells me one thing. He's looking to get that resume updated. And guess what? It might be a situation where he might want to leave and go somewhere else and sit out a year and find his opportune time and just go ahead and learn and figure it out and take a year off like Vrabel did. At either rate, if I had to put my finger on the situation, I think that there's a greater chance that Andrew Berry is back with the Cleveland Browns in 2026 rather than Kevin Stefanski. But would I be surprised if both of them stayed? No, because sometimes I just think Jimmy Haslam is like, look, maybe I don't want to pick new guys. Maybe I don't want to deal with finding out with new people. We'll just figure out how he feels about Kevin Stefanski and what that relationship is. But you let me know. Put it in the comment section. Do you think Andrew Berry is back? Do you think Kevin Stefanski is back? Or both of them? Why or why not? Put it in the comment section, and we appreciate you. With that being